On streets across the country, violence is overwhelming the lives of young people. Children are growing up against a backdrop of crime and punishment. The lucky ones bear the emotional scars. The unlucky ones surrender their lives. This was the world Maceo Payne knew growing up in Oakland, California.
I see myself every day in these youth. I see the choices that they're making, and I see right where I was when I had that choice.
But as a young man, Maceo discovered a way to break free from the embrace of violence.
When I discovered the power of finding your center and remaining in your center, even when you go out into the world, there was just no substitute. There was no going back.
Maceo's journey inward has inspired him to help others. This year he is serving as coordinator of a program for inner-city teens called Camp Achille. 66 teenagers aged 13 to 18 will gather in the hills of Santa Cruz for a 5-day retreat. The mission of Camp Achille is to help kids discover that the power to heal lies within them.
When they first arrive at Camp Achille, some of them have come from juvenile hall, some of them have come from group homes, some of them have come from hell. But all of them have come from a situation or an environment of mental violence. The new campers definitely come skeptical, they come apprehensive, they come, kind of standoffish. They're not quite sure what they're going to experience and what to expect.
This is not a sports camp. This is not an outdoors camp, though you will play sports and you will be outdoors. This is a very different kind of camp. When we've asked students before, after they left this camp, if they had to describe what kind of camp it was, they said it was a thinking camp. Now, what we're forming here is a community of trust and a community of love.
For Maceo, the capacity to reach out to others in trust and love is cultivated by reaching within.
I am the truth. I am the truth. I am the truth.
Who are you? Who are you?
This is Who Are You? We're going to get into groups of 2. And you are going to ask your partner over and over again, who are you? Who are you is about, first of all, acknowledging that we don't always know who we are.
Who are you? Who are you, like as a person? Who do you want to be?
I want to be a lawyer.
Who are you, Shirley? Who are you? Diamond. Who are you? Beautiful.
By doing the Who Are You activity, it gets to who their essence is. Not their body, not their experiences, not their beliefs, not their parents, not anything that society can create for them, but who they really are is that spirit, that essence. One more question. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be?
Who do you want to be?
A veterinarian.
Who do you want to be?
A doctor.
What do you want to be?
Movie star.
What do you want to be?
Famous.
I want to be.
30-something, 40-something years.
I want to be able to be with people and totally I want to be forgiving.
What do you want to be?
I want to be strong. I want to be happy.
What do you want to be?
Who do I want to be?
I want to be.
think that's going to build a camp for camp.
Just want to be strong.
There's a whole dynamic of identity that's crucial, that's very important, because when you talk about healing, when you talk about issues, it's from the perspective of who we are. Are we victims or are we creators in this process called life? Healing takes place on the soul level. At the core, we want the new campers to find that they're okay and that they're perfectly lovable and loving beings. from that core, they can begin to radiate that in all the other layers of their life. Everyone here is ready to move on to the next level. And what that means is we're gonna step it up. I want you to really just settle and feel the power that's in this room. It is truly you who brings this power to this room, to this time, right now. The meditation is so that they can settle into the information that they've received so that it can become wisdom, so that they can use it, and so that they can interpret it in a meaningful way to their spirit.
For Maceo, meditation opens the door to his inner experience.
Going within is like going home. It's like going to your most comfortable place. Going within is going to a clear, calm, true place. It's tapping into what's true and real, which is our connection to everything.
Maceo's inner voice is nurtured in a program called Sustaining the Soul That Serves. Once a year, he comes together with youth leaders from all over the country. Together, they explore how sustaining the inner life will enable them to better serve others.
Where I come from, there are a lot of bad things that happen. And I wonder why I haven't, gone crazy at this time of my life, because with the issues that my people are facing, it's like, there's still kids getting molested. And, there's violent, hurtful, hateful things. I have to keep myself saying, you can make it through this day, because there are times when I just want to throw my hand up and say, God, why am I here?
You can be physically tired, but it's really a spiritual tiredness that allows somebody to get burnt out. And you're gonna have to have an answer for yourself, and you're gonna have to have a mechanism to fortify you in that and to keep you strong.
During the gathering, the youth leaders are introduced to an array of contemplative practices, including meditation, journaling, and music. Practices called Pathways to Spiritual Renewal.
It sounds differently when I play it on my djembe, but it's a polyrhythm, and that's how I always see my life is different rhythms, but it's always dum, 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 dum. There's always a grounding tempo in my life that keeps it steady.
Each person is encouraged to find the practice that works best for them.
There are many ways that we can meditate and have our awareness, even as we do the work that we do for social justice and peace. So to sustain your soul, you have to listen to your soul and tune into your soul.
When I first came here last year, I think a lot of the pathways were, I've heard about them, but I didn't really get deep into them. And especially meditation. Last year I came here scared. And I didn't want to do anything bad that was going to end up making no corn grow next year or something. So
we need to prepare our soul for whatever it is, whatever encounter you have in your daily life. And too often we run around, and then at the end of the day, it's like, oh yeah, my soul. Gotta prepare for the next day.
By reflecting on his own experience, Maceo came to understand how the ills of society affect the formation of the inner life. It is this awareness that he brings to the teenagers at Camp Akili.
Akili on 3! 1, 2, 3!
Say it loud! I'm black and I'm proud! Say it loud! I'm black and I'm proud!
In a workshop called Strange Fruit, Maceo asks the teenagers to confront images of violence against African Americans from the not-too-distant past.
We're dealing with the emotions that are already in them, that have been passed on by their parents because they were passed on by their parents because their parents were lynched. We dredge up that pain because they don't even realize it's there. If it wasn't there, they wouldn't be as affected so deeply by it.
After looking at images of brutality inflicted by whites, the teenagers are asked to honor someone in their own lives they've lost to urban warfare.
Some of the messages that were on the wall were stories of relatives, friends, loved ones that had been murdered or shot. There were just stories of sadness, basically, and remembrance. Potentially each person in that room knows one person or two people or three people or four people or a dozen people that have been victims of violence. That something bad has happened to someone close to them. We didn't kill each other as slaves like we kill each other today. There's more murders that happen on black violence, more than the police, more than the KKK, more than any other outside force. Let's look at that. We have this illness called violence. We have this illness called prejudice and racism. And this illness manifests in how we destroy each other and how we destroy ourselves. Let's do something about it.
All right, everybody!
As the teenagers begin to examine their deepest wounds, the subject turns to the interactions between men and women.
If you're male in this society, you get more stuff than females, white or black. I have a privilege that I'm not aware of. I have a privilege that I could just walk on any college campus, walk on any street day or night, and be pretty much assured that I will not be yelled at, my ass will not be pinched, I will not be called a bitch, and I will not be raped. Men have privileges and power over women, whether you like it or not. That's called sexism. You didn't start it. You don't even know that it happens. As black men and black women who are future leaders, we cannot move forward without understanding how we relate to this idea of sexism, right? We cannot move forward with this.
The gender walkthrough is designed to give the boys just a small taste of what women go through all the time. For each teen, it's only a 20-second, 30-second experience, and yet it's something that is very uncomfortable. At the completion of the whole gender walkthrough and the whole sexism workshop, the guys a lot of times feel betrayed. They feel tricked and they feel set up. But the youth do a really good job, especially after the sexism, day of debriefing it and processing it amongst themselves and atoning and healing and forgiving amongst themselves. They do a really good job of that. It's love that ultimately springs up after you've gone through the roller coaster and you've dealt with all the issues, and it's ultimately a greater love for self and a greater love for those around you. Ultimately, our hope is these youth will open up and look at their feelings and look at their experiences and decide that they're going to do something about it, that they're going to do something for themselves, and that they're going to do something for their community.
The final activity of the camp involves both a physical and mental challenge and offers a glimpse of how the healing of individuals contributes to the healing of whole communities.
This is just simply a wall. It's 14 feet tall, and it represents whatever it is you give meaning to it. It's not about what it means for me. It's not about what it means for Mateo. It's what it is for you.
Well, they have to get over it in a literal and figurative sense. Whatever it is in your life, you can hold on to it or you can get over it and let it go and move past it. And that's what the wall is about, is as a group supporting each other over that wall.
I want to know, what is this wall for you? What is your wall?
To get people to respect me for who I am.
That sounds good, brother. All right, Evan, come on now, we're gonna push you. You hang on to this wall, okay? You're going over the wall. Don't crawl away from it. This is your wall. Straight up, just stand straight up. Stand straight up, Evan. There you go. Come on, Evan. Come on, now pull yourself up, brother. Pull yourself up. Get your elbows up here. Look at what's happening. Hang on. It's not safe yet. You're still cussing. You're still hollering at each other. You're getting angry. You're giving off all this energy that is not going to do anything but get somebody physically hurt, or worse, it's going to get somebody emotionally hurt and they're going to check out of this group. I need to know what you guys can create in love. If you're cussing and hollering your neighbor, what makes you think your neighbor's going to take care of you when it's your turn? You got to take care of each other.
Let's go, team!
They feel supported even in their individual effort going up the wall, that it's the whole community that's pulling them and pushing them at the same time. That's what that group provides, is an experience of what it is, of what their potential can be in terms of a respectful, loving community.
1, 2, 3!
Healing is an internal process, but it's also about your relationship with other people and your relationship with your community.
1, 2, 3!
It's something that they want when they go home. They want that community to follow them home.
Spiders ready! Ready!